Hey guys, it's Melissa Mara with Vintage Bee Design, and today, in addition to our thrift haul, I'm going to talk to you about the week that I had with Kelly Weiler from Girl Upcycled and Dion from the Turquoise Iris. I spent 4 days with these lovely ladies and a whole bunch of others. I literally had to cross land, air, and sea to get there. I had a great time while I was gone. I'm excited to be home and ready to do a little thrifting with you. I'm going to start today's project off with this bed that I actually got from our warehouse. We hardly ever use it, and we are paring down our inventory. I decided I would make more money by taking this bed apart than selling it as it was. I could not find the power tools to take this apart with any power tools, so I did it the old-fashioned way.
You're gone now, will you coming back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world.
Now that I have that taken apart, I'm going to move on to what I actually want to use some of that wood for, and that is this little mini candelabra. I thrifted it quite a long time ago and decided this was the weekend we were going to take care of it. I'm going to start off by giving it a really good clean. I love this scrubber that I'm using. It is made of coconut fibers. I've got 3 different ones. We sell them in the shop. They make everything really easy, especially getting into these weird little tight crevices. These started off black, so I'm going to move on to painting them a lighter color, and I'm going to do that with some of the chalked and aged gray that I happen to have sitting on the shelf. This probably isn't my favorite spray paint, to be honest. I do love Rust-Oleum, but I'm not a big fan of the chalked. But I have a couple of cans left over from when I did the big roosters several months ago.
Inside your heart. I hope I'll be your end destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation.
While that's drying, let's get to cutting some wood. I have my Roy Obi chop saw. I actually have this in 2 sizes. So at the warehouse, I have a large compound miter, and at home I have this smaller one that only does about up to a 10-inch wide piece. These are the slats that were in between the bed parts. I am cutting them so they're a square, so about the same length as the width. And here I want you to be able to see that I've added a little stop so that I don't have to measure each time. This is a great tip when you have to do a lot of pieces. And so the next step is to find something that has approximately the same diameter as the surface that I'm going to put these little wood pieces on. I am going to trace out 6 circles. To cut my circles, I'm going to use our 14-inch bandsaw. As you see here, you really could buy these at Michael's or some other place, but in my market, we can't find these little circles anywhere, and they're ridiculous on Amazon, so using leftover wood seemed to be a clear option. Since making circles with the bandsaw isn't always easy, I'm using the 4-inch belt sander to make sure that my circle is really nice and round. I'm also going to use it to take off the surface paint, which will be much quicker than using a hand sander.
I hope I'll be something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your end destination. You're far away and yet so close. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're up in space. You're inside the noise. I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart.
And unfortunately my camera died, so I didn't get to film staining these with Dark and Decrepit by DIY. I stained both the wood blocks and the actually the entire base of the candelabra with Dark and Decrepit. So I traveled to this tiny little island called Crystal Beach just outside of Galveston to learn intuitive painting. Intuitive painting is basically taking your art wherever your inner being guides you. These are actually the morphs of the same individual painting, which turned into this one. If you look closely into the background, you can see it is in fact the same piece of art. So next I have this little basket. We used this at Rave to give away some gifts, and I think we still have about 6 of them left. I think Jessica got them from the Dollar Tree back in the day, or the dollar store, one of those. So yeah, you could probably find something very similar. And what I wanted to do was put a base inside of this. And I was planning on tracing out the bottom onto a piece of wood, but my husband happened to have this for his wood turning, and it fits pretty perfect in that hole. So instead of tracing this out, I used this, and I am cutting out as many as I need for how many baskets I have.
The traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. I hope I'll be your destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation. I hope I'll be something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your destination.
These were all glued up. I took them outside and added a couple of screws to the bottom of each of them. Now for a little more stability, I'm adding more hot glue on top of the screws, and this is where I'm going to put my wood panel so it helps stay completely in place. The cans just provide a little weight so I don't have to hold it the entire time it's drying. I think these came out really cute. Let me know in the comments what you think. Which leg style do you like the best also? All of the legs are pieces from that one spindle. And with my intuitive painting, I think it's pretty interesting how originally this piece started off as a river, and then turning it on its side, it became a vase with some flowers. My favorite part of this is all of the texture in the background though. Since I'm new to canvas painting, I think I did pretty good. What do you think? And this next one I saw on Julie's Designs and Signs, where she took a colander and put a pedestal under it or some legs, and I thought I would give it a go since I had this broken colander. It had 2 of its 3 legs. I popped the others off and then went ahead and gave it a nice coat of black spray paint. The black was followed up by a coat of clear spray paint. I also painted the base, which was a old turned candlestick that didn't come out exactly the way John had planned. I'm going to now apply a couple of coats of the Aged Gray chalk paint that I have left over from my roosters.
You're gone now, but you're coming back. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places
I tried taking my Dremel to this to hollow out the center a little bit to make the colander sit in a little divot, but this wood was so hard it just wasn't going anywhere. I will be sure to add a couple of pilot holes, get these screwed together nice and tight. And here's this cute little thrifted makeover. Tell me, what do you think? Thanks for sharing time with me today, and I'm super excited to say that I won this painting from Dion, the Turquoise Iris. And for those of you who remember me guilting my husband last Christmas to get me the Dyson, it was totally worth it to be stylist to the stars.
Yeah, I feel